Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Connie Douglas from Great Stamping with Connie. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada, and I would like to welcome you to the Crafting Chronicles. And I thank you for joining me as we wander our way through the new annual catalog. If you caught me yesterday at this time, you know that I will be here each day this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time to share some of the wonderful new things in the new annual catalog and uh, do a little crafting. And I also will provide make and take information each day, one card per day, which will make 4 cards, which is my May card class. So I invite you to hop over to my online store, place a minimum order of $35, and I will send you a kit to make each of these cards absolutely free. It's my thank you for supporting my business and for joining me on this crafting adventure. So if you are here joining me today, do say hello. And if you are catching the replay, let me know that you've watched the replay. Let me know what you think about the new catalog and some of the things that I've shared. And don't forget, very important, don't forget to answer the question of the day. So if you did not answer yesterday's question of the day, I will give you a little hint and let you know that the question was, what is your favorite new color? And it could be one of the new in colors or one of the new core colors. Entirely up to you. Whichever one uh, piques your interest, catches your fancy, calls to you, whatever it is. Just let me know. Leave a comment on one of my Crafting Chronicles posts, and you will be entered into a draw. I will do one draw for each question. So that's 4 draws, 4 questions. So if you answer all 4, you will have 4 chances to win something. So make sure that you do that. And I will hold that draw next Wednesday at my regular craft spot. So the Crafting Chronicles have sort of taken over craft spot, but here we are. Okay, let's pop down to the craft table. Here is the annual catalog once again, and we are going to look at a few things in here today. One of them is a little closer look, I guess, at some of the new core colors. Some of those, as we discussed yesterday, are ones that were previously in colors, some favorite in colors, and some of them are brand new. So we will look at some of those. One of the things that I didn't mention yesterday that I did want to make sure I mentioned today, the new core colors. There are 11 new colors, and they are part of all different color collections. So as you can see, some of them are in the brights, and some are in the neutrals, and some are in the regals, and then there's 4 that are in the subtles collection. So if you wanted to get these, you'd be looking at buying all these collections or a lot of individual, shopping to, get a whole package of all of those colors. And that may not be something that you want to do. So good news, over on page 125, we have packages of new core colors. So you can get a package of cardstock, 8.5 by 11 cardstock. There are 22 sheets, so you get 2 of each color. So that'll just give you a little taster of each of the new core colors. You can also get a cardstock pack in 12 by 12. So if you do scrapbooking or you do a lot of 3D items where it's handy to have larger cardstock, you can get a pack of 12 by 12. And again, it's 2 each of all 11 colors. So there's 22 sheets of 12 by 12 cardstock in there. If you want to get all of the new in color ink pads, you can do that as a bundle. So you would get all 11 ink pads, 1 of each color. And you can also get a package that includes all of the new in color Stampin' Right, or sorry, not in color, new core color Stampin' Right markers. Okay, you can get them in the in colors as well, but that's pretty standard. We have that every year. But the new core colors, you can get them as a collection. So that's kind of a handy way to round out your craft stash with the new core colors. Okay, let's move over to some new product. This is the Earthen Elegance Suite, and I am going to use it just a little bit today, but I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time with it because it will be the primary um, suite that we are going to use for our next online global retreat. Yes, it's coming back. Our fourth online retreat. This is a global event. So we have demonstrators from around the world, Sarah from Australia, myself from Canada, Louise from the United Kingdom, and Terry from the United States. So 4 of us, and we will be coming to you July 21st and 22nd this time. So we will have 8 make and takes that we will share with you. We will share techniques. We will share over 30 projects for sure that we will show you and chat with you about and inspire you with, hopefully. Something that we did last time, we did a Zoom after party, and it was a huge success. Everyone really enjoyed it. So we're going to step it up a notch. This time we're going to have a Zoom kickoff party. So we will gather on Zoom before the event starts, and we will gather after it is over, just so you can spend a little bit of time meeting each of the demonstrators involved in this, as well as fellow crafters from all around the world. So it's a marvelous time to share crafting and inspiration and make some new friends from around the world. Here is the pricing, $85 in Canada, but right now, if you register up until June 5th, we have an early bird special price, and that is just $80. So you can save on the registration fee if you register by June 5th. It will only be $80. And that will get you all of the make and takes. It will get you the whole retreat in a box delivered right to your door. Lots of goodies, pillow gifts, door prizes, and everything you need for all of the make and takes. So we hope that you will take advantage of that and do it soon. June the 5th is the end of the early bird pricing. So make sure you register before then. We would love to have you join us on this global adventure, and I know it will be a fun time. So that's coming up. All righty. So as I say, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time with this suite, but I did want to share with you the designer series paper from this suite. And we will be using this in our retreat. It will be part of your goodie package that is delivered to you. You will get all of these sheets, but I thought I would show them to you today. So here we have one side, front side. This is one of those ones that you could cut through the center and make some really quick and easy cards. We have some ombre look with that very earthen textures. Guess that makes sense. Earth tones and very textural. Look at this one. Isn't this awesome? Like, it looks like you can feel it. It is flat, but you can just see the texture jumping off of that page. Some more, and then this is the final sheet. So very natural looking and wonderful textures there. The back is less patterned generally. We have this beautiful ombre piece, Misty Moonlight. This is one of my favorites. I love these little like paint drips or something. And this shows all of the colors that are in the paper. So we have Copper Clay, Moody Mauve, Pretty Peacock, Pecan Pie, and Pebbled Calf. And they are all in this sheet, and they just work beautifully together. Look at this one, Pretty Peacock. Oh my gosh, how rich looking is that? And then some more texture. And here's Misty Moonlight, another one. I love this, but to me, this is, oops, this one, rich and elegant. They'd be nice together. So there we go. That is the Designer Series paper. The dies for this set are also marvelous. Here's the stamp set. So you've got a couple of vases and you've got some natural elements to come out of it. You've got some marvelous sentiments. And then in the die set, and I love these kinds of dies where you have dies that will cut out, so you can cut out both the pots, you can cut out all three of these stamped images, but then there's also these dies that cut things that are not stamped, so you can just get even additional die cuts and texture and everything else to create just some beautiful, beautiful cards. Okay, let's set this aside. Oh dear, this is the time where I need a larger table. See if I can reach to the back. So I used some of those things, and I showed you just very briefly yesterday. Which one did we use? I think we used, I think I shared one of these, didn't I? Yes, this card, yesterday's Make and Take, had this banner die cut, and I mentioned to you then that it was part of a die set, and here is the whole die set. These are the nested essentials dies, so there's three shapes. We have these banners, and then we have round cornered rectangles, and then we have this sort of diamond shape. And I love these, I have to tell you. I just love these. So I will be using these a lot. I've already used them quite a bit this week, but they will definitely be a staple in my crafting studio. So I'm just going to set those aside right now. And I wanted to mention to you on page, oops, dies. 154 is where we begin showing the dies in the catalog. And these first ones are all bundles. So when we think of dies, we think of them coordinating with a stamp set. And in the back, in this section, we can easily see the a sample using the stamp set, and then the dies that are part of that, and then you get your bundle pricing. So anytime you buy the stamp and dies, or the stamp and punch, if it's a punch bundle, you save 10%. So that's, if you like them both, buy them at the same time, you will save 10%. That's a great way to do it. So here are all of the die bundles that are in this catalog, and you will notice we talked about, oh, really hard to see, isn't it? I'll bring it up a little bit closer for you. Can you see there? Well, you can see that there's something colored, right? A little pink box with the letter N in it. That means that this is a new bundle, a new product, new dies. And so everything in this section will be new, because usually bundles are only for one catalog. And then while you may be able to still get the stamp set and the dies, it's not usually a bundle, so you don't save that 10%. So there's the earth and textures there, and you can see some of these die cuts that are not part of the stamp set. So there are a number of those in this section, and you can page through them and look. And then on page 161, there's something called detailed die cuts. And these are either dies that coordinate with a stamp set that are no longer a bundle. So for example, the chic dies, these were a bundle, and we featured these in one of our other global retreats. So you may have these in your stash, and these are awesome dies as well, I have to tell you. I love these, and I still use them quite a bit. But in here, there are also 8 new dies that are standalone dies. Okay, so that means they don't coordinate with any particular stamp set. So we have, there are some on this page, but I'll just flip over here and see, there we have the nested essentials that I just showed you. And they don't have a stamp set that they coordinate with. So you can use them with absolutely anything. Not that you couldn't use some of these others with anything, but a lot of the others, they cut out a stamped image. They might give you some that aren't stamped images, as in the earth and textures, but some will be for stamped images. But there's 8 brand new standalone dies, and there are 18 standalone dies in here. So you want to go through, and as you're looking, if there is a stamp set, it will tell you that it coordinates with the artistically inked stamp set, and it'll tell you what page that stamp set is on. If there is no stamp set that it coordinates with, such as this gorgeous garden, which is gorgeous and definitely on my wish list, I will be adding this to an order. This is going to make lacy cutouts of leaves or flowers, and I'm sure it's stunning. I don't have it yet. An upcoming order for sure. But it tells you here that there's 2 dies, the size of the largest dies, and it says you can see these dies in use on page 18. But it doesn't tell you that it coordinates with a stamp set, because there is no stamp set. So you can see here, look at this. Can you see that card there? Beyond Grateful. And they have probably used blending brushes to blend the background, and then they've overlaid this lacy die cut for just a stunning card that was likely not that difficult to create, because the die does all the work. So there are 18 of those in this section. So you want to search for those. Paper Florist is one for building flowers, petal patterns. I don't have a lot of these yet, so I will let you look at the catalog, because you will be able to see them better than me just holding this stuff up to the camera. But I did want to point out this one as well. It's called Wanted to Stay, and it gives you words. So, you're too kind, happy birthday, feel better soon, and celebrate. And then it gives you a background layer, so you can die cut the words and die cut a background. I love when they do that. That's awesome, because a lot of times you want to put this onto something, and it's so cool when it's die cut as well. And then there are some flowers and things. So there's some great dies in that set. So there we go. Lots and lots of dies. And if you're anything like me, you love your dies. While we are on the topic of dies, a number of the standalone dies are larger. They're kind of full size, but not all of them. So you can see here, you can see just a little Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine icon, and it says mini. That tells you that these dies will fit in the mini cut and emboss machine. So that is good to know if you have the mini machine, there are still lots and lots of dies that you can use. You'll see the mini symbol throughout the catalog in lots and lots of places. Almost actually, oh, not quite all of the new ones, although some of these you could do in the mini, just not all of them. So if any of them would not fit in the mini, they don't label it as a mini. Interesting. I would have thought that this one would have, but it doesn't say so. Those dies don't look that large, but I don't have them, so I cannot say for certain. So just if you have the mini cut and emboss machine, just make sure that you look for that symbol before you order so that you're not disappointed and have dies that don't actually fit in your machine. And if you don't have a cut and emboss machine yet, you should know that you can get either the full-size machine, which is awesome. I mean, it does everything, and it's just a beautiful machine. It does fold up; these sides fold up, so it's not huge for storage. It's not as big as our previous machine, but it is still it's a larger machine. It's a little bit heavier, and it's a little bit more expensive. Okay, but it is awesome. I cannot say enough good things about it. So it's a wonderful machine. But we also have the mini, which does probably, and I don't know the percentage, I'm going to say 85–90% of our dies will fit in this machine. So lots and lots of die cutting that can be done. And there are smaller embossing folders as well that will fit in it. So the stripes and splatters, you get 2 embossing folders and they are half size. So they will fit in the mini machine. You need to be aware, though, that something like this exposed brick that we looked at yesterday will not fit because it is full size. So again, lots that will fit, but they won't all. So you just need to be careful with that. And the symbol is on here as well to show you which ones will fit. But the mini cut and emboss machine is also a great option. And right now, while supplies last only, you can get this mini machine in the wonderful new boho blue color. It was a join promotion for people that joined as demonstrators during Celebration, January, February. And then it was made available to demonstrators. And they had said if there was any left, they would put them in the online exclusive products. So you can still get one of those for the time being. You must purchase them through the online store, but I'd be more than happy to help you with that if you're interested, because boho blue is such an awesome color. Okay, I digress. Let's look at some cards, shall we? So here is some of that designer series paper, and here are some of those nested essentials dies in action. These stamps. Where did the stamp come from, you ask? Well, that comes from the Layering Leaves stamp set, and I will be featuring that a little bit more today. Sending hugs right there. And this one, you may recall from yesterday, we looked at this symbol. This indicates that this stamp set was inspired by one of the $1 million sales demonstrators, and that was Rachel Tessman in this case. So this is Rachel's inspired stamp set, and so they put that on there. Alrighty, so Moody Mauve and the paper. Oh, and I couldn't decide whether to do the designer series paper on the background of the card or the background of the sentiment. So I did one of each. So there it is on the background of the card, and there it is behind the sentiment, just for a different look. And you can see here that this piece of pretty peacock cardstock has been embossed. And this is one of the new embossing folders. I don't think we talked about embossing folders a whole lot yesterday, but this is the Twisted Rope. Okay, I'm on page 169, and it is the Twisted Rope 3D embossing folder. So that is one of the new ones in the catalog, and that is what it looks like. So great texture, and you can do it with the ropes going across and down, depending on which direction your card runs. So there's a couple of those. And then I wanted to show you a different piece of the designer series paper. So I pulled out this Misty Moonlight one, and here you can see the earth and textures, the one of the vases, some of the greenery, and here's one of the dies that doesn't have a stamp. So I just cut it with Night of Navy cardstock. So when I was planning this card, I thought, okay, I've got this shape from the dies, and I have some cards coming up that use this shape. I want to do something with this shape because I didn't show it a whole lot yesterday. I wanted to show it a little bit more today. So I stamped this. Thinking of You, this again is from the Layering Leaves stamp set. Oops, lots of glare, sorry. Thinking of You, there we go. And so I stamped this on gray granite cardstock with Misty Moonlight ink. And I thought, oh, that's lovely. I like the way that turned out. But I didn't like the way it took up space on here. It just seemed too large. So, so I swapped out the sentiment for one of the sentiments from the Earth and Textures stamp set that said thank you. And I'm so glad that I did. I will be honest. Look, full disclosure here, folks. Font is something that a lot of crafters think, is very, very important. If you love the font, you love the stamp set, you love the message, everything just all falls into place. I love this font and I love these messages. And so these sentiments make me very happy and I want to use them and I enjoy using them. And that was why I used it here, but it didn't really work on the card. So this font is fine. I mean, it's relatively straightforward, but it doesn't grab me or anything until I stamp it. And when I stamped it on here, I thought, oh my goodness, I love it. It looks so clean and fresh, and it is so perfect for this stamp set, just a natural look and everything. So, see, you wonder why things go the way they go? It's because I was supposed to set this aside and try this font in these sentiments. And I'm so happy that I did because I really like it. Okay, then we have a card that I made truly using the Layering Leaves stamp set. So what do I love about this stamp set? Well, what don't I love about this stamp set? I love everything. I've already talked about the font and the sentiments. I love the sentiments, and I love the font that they've used for the sentiments. And then, leaves and flowers, those are always awesome. And these all coordinate. These three, well, and this is for filling in, but these three leaves and these flowers coordinate with the bow punch. See that, okay? So you can stamp any of these and punch them out. And this bow punch was in the catalog last year. So check your stash. You may even have it right now. But that all coordinates together. So, and then, little spots and dots. I love this kind of a stamp just for filling in. So I thought, okay, I must make my own designer series paper. I must make the background for this card and show it off. So I have used Lost Lagoon, Pretty Peacock, and Lemon Lime Twist. So these are three of the core colors that have returned. I didn't mention, but Misty Moonlight here, that is one of the core colors that has returned as well. And so is Pretty Peacock over here, which is also over here. Anyway, So there you go. These are three of the core colors now. And as I was making this card, I wanted some little ribbon to come off of my sentiment, but I didn't have any Lost Lagoon ribbon. And while you can use your Stampin' Blend markers to color ribbon, I didn't happen to have them with me at the time I was making this card. So guess what? I made my own ribbon with dies. So I just cut two of these pieces, and that's what is on there. And I thought that was a great way to show off that little die. So there you go. What do they say? Something about need is the mother of invention or something. Whatever. That's what they say. I'm sure that's what they say. Okay, so there are the cards, and then we have a make and take for today. So here is today's make and take. And again, I have done the background, made the background piece myself using this stamp. This stamp. I was going to say, I really hope I put down a block, although I don't remember because I don't see it, but there it is. So we're good. Okay, so let me show you how to put today's make and take together. Okay. So, things underway here. I have a Lost Lagoon card base. And then we have a piece of pretty peacock cardstock. So remember, if you place a minimum $35 order in my online store, I will send you the kit to make this card, and as well as yesterday's make and take, plus the next two. So the one from Thursday and the one from Friday as well. So you will have 4 cards and everything that you need to create those, with the exception of stamps and ink. I cannot send you stamped images as per Stampin' Up! Policy, but if you have any of these sets, you can use them, and if you don't, you can go into your stash and just use whatever you have. You can substitute with whatever you like. So I'm just going around and adding random spots to my card here. All right, so there we have our background piece. And then on this card I did for you, and it was this size. I got it cut out and ready, but then I decided that perhaps I would use that Thinking of You stamp that I didn't get to use on the other card. So I had to cut a little bigger piece because the Thinking of You does not fit on there. Well, it does, but and it didn't look right. So I've gone up a size with the white, and then I cut a piece of the lemon lime twist that is one size larger than this. Again, everything has been cut with the Nested Essentials dies. So, okay, there we go. I should probably clean off these stamp sets before I go any further, or I will be in a spot of trouble in a bit. So let me just clean these off quickly. There we go. Okay. So this is going to get mounted onto here. Put that on, and it will be ready to go. There we go. And I did already cut and punch a number of pieces So some of these, as you can see, I have stamped, and some I have just punched with cardstock and no stamping. But I just thought I would give you a little very quick demo of this and show you a neat little thing that you can do. Okay, Lost Lagoon, which is what I have stamped here, and these have been stamped with this solid one, and now I'm going to use this one. It is more open. I'm going to ink that up and stamp that onto there. There we go. And I will just close up this ink. I could do more than if I'm going to use it, I may need more than one. So I'm just going to stamp a second one, just so I have a couple of the same sort of style, in case I decide to use them. And I will use them on something, perhaps not this card, but we'll see as we are building. And that's one of the fun things about creating. When I send you this kit, I will send you some plain white paper that you may stamp and punch. And I will send you some of this type of thing. So I will send you some cardstock punched pieces, okay, so that you can use just the punched pieces, or if you have the stamp set, you may stamp some of your own material. So what I wanted to show you is Wink of Stella. This has been in previous catalogs. You've probably used it because it's wonderful for just adding a little bit of shimmer to things, but it also, when you color with it, it will cause the ink, usually it causes the ink to bleed a little bit. And get a little bit. This one is perhaps too long. It's not as wet as it could be, but it is putting down some shimmer. Color this. Is my head in the camera? I'm sort of leaning over to see what I'm doing here. Since I'm trying to color in the lines, I think this one is it's not empty, but it's well loved at this point, shall we say. I always have a spare, but I don't have it out. It's right here. It's not adding shimmer. I'm ready. No, I don't. Hopefully, can you see? Really, really. Oh, just ever so slightly. Can you see it on this top one here? It's really difficult to show Wink of Stella on live video, but or in photos too. It doesn't often show, but it's added just a little bit of shimmer to the leaves, just for something fun. Okay, and then I just bring in the punch and line it up. Easier said than done, clearly. There we go. And we have a little bit of extra popping off there from the top side. Punch this one out as well. To say I hadn't really planned to use these in the card. They may get used in in the subsequent part, they'll get used somewhere or something because they're too pretty not to use, right? Okay. Trying to get everything as lined up as I can here, and of course, that involves human hand. So, okay, so there we go. So we have a couple of extras, and they're fairly white, just a little glimmer. So I'm probably going to just stick with the more intensely colored pieces. But anyway, we'll see. So what I did was I just kind of selected what I wanted sort of where. So I think that I'm going to put some of these down on, oh, here's something else you can do. This layer is going to go in between my card base and my white. So guess what? We can punch this over a little bit because I think I can punch double those two and then these two. So now I have more, and this is going to get covered up by this. So no one will ever know. Okay, that's my sneaky Pete move of the day. So we will just, because I think I'm going to put one of these down this corner. So I am just going to get those down in place, and I'm going to just use glue dots down near the bottom there to glue these down. There's one. There's the other. So these bits are going to get covered up by this sentiment box, and that's fine. We will have others that are sticking out, and some of these I am going to put onto the back of here. So you can put some, and because when I put this on with dimensionals, then they will be raised from the others. So you can kind of play with the height of things, whether you add them flat onto your piece of cardstock, your background cardstock, or whether you put them onto the back of your sentiment piece that you then pop up with dimensionals. It just gives you a little bit of an option. Okay, so give or take, I want that about here. And you know, exactly where things go is not crucial. You just want them sort of in different spots so that you have some layers. Maybe I will put one small one to here. So you just kind of have some fun playing with things, see where you want them, layer them up a bit. That be a little bit closer, so a little bit tucked in just a little bit more. And then one more over there. One more over this direction. There's no rules, so I'm just kind of making it up as I go along. And then that would stick better if I had it on some of the sticky stuff on the back. There we go. Okay, so I think that will work. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to bring in a couple of these stamp ones. So I'm just going to put adhesive over a bunch of this. I'm going to hover it over here. There. Here. Before I do that, I kind of want these to be on the top, right? So I'm just going to stick that in there. And maybe these in here. And then hard to remember where I go to. Yeah. And then this one, put here. Just make sure this is going to all sort of have this one maybe needs to be tilted over a little bit more. Maybe just there. I think that will work. So now I have extras. I always cut too many because I never know exactly what I want to do. So I just cut a bunch, crunch a bunch. And now, so now when I add my dimensionals, I'm going to go right over top of some of my stems and things, which will just further hold them in place. I'm just going to stick one in there. Is that going to stay? When in doubt, oh, shouldn't have done that. Hope it's okay. What have I done? Hopefully, it's all good. Okay. Maybe I should quit while I'm ahead, right? Just throw a little one on there. Hello, Monique. Welcome. I'm just trying to figure out what to do with all these little bits and pieces here as I layer them onto my card, trying to hold them on with dimensionals and making a bigger mess of things. So if you're home now, does this mean that your work meeting is over, or has it not started yet? Okay. And I'm just going to put this right down into the center. Lots of layers. There we go. And then when I put this onto the pretty peacock piece, it will, just remember, you don't want to put adhesive in the center or you're going to stick it down to the wrong thing. You can add adhesive when you put it on your card base. There we go. Get these guys out of the way. And we'll put this down onto the card base. And now if I put adhesive on the back over this part, it won't matter because it's going to stick. Home for a quick bite. The meeting begins at 6. Ah, I understand. Well, tell the boss that they have to talk quick and get the meeting done with because you have other more fun meetings to go to. Or you can watch the replay later. I hate when work gets in the way of crafting, eh? So, you know, what can you do? It happens. Okay, and then I think I had used some of these copper brush metallic adhesive back dots on this card, and I like those. So I think I am going to put them onto here again. I'm getting a little bit ahead on my large ones. I have lots, so I think too large and one small. And as usual, I should have placed this somewhere other than placed it, so we will just stick it to my finger. Okay, let's put this one down so that we can get hold of this one again. Oh, good grief. Sticky, sticky. Okay, there we go. There. So there is today's making tape. Get all these things out of the way, move some of these stamp sets now, and Did I drop? Oh, dropped a reading on the floor. It's all good. Okay, so let me just see if I can lay these out in the camera view so you can see everything that we have. That was the first one. This was a sample and the making for today. So I will send you these larger pieces for your making, just in because I never know what size sentiment people are going to be using. So larger's probably safer. If you want something smaller, you could trim it down. You would lose the stitching, but it's always, or you could just die cut some other pieces for your sentiment. No one says you have to use mine. They're just the ones that I send you. Alrighty, come back in here. So there you have it. There are today's cards and a few more wonderful things from the new annual catalog. So I hope you've enjoyed that. And I hope you will join me again on Thursday and Friday at 4 p.m. Don't forget to answer today's question. Did I tell you what today's question was? I think I did. Did I? Maybe I didn't. I told you yesterday. Yesterday's question was, what's your favorite new color? Today's question is, what is your favorite designer series paper? So in the catalog, starting on page, well, sort of sheets of splendor there, page 128, we have all of our designer series papers, and I realize they're hard to see in the catalog, but which ones have colors that call to you, or perhaps you can see some of the patterns. You can see the patterns throughout the catalog. You might get a little better look. Anyway, tell me which one is your favorite, and you will be entered into the draw for an opportunity to win a prize. All right, thanks so much for coming along on today's crafting adventure. I hope to craft with you all again really soon. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.